I usually start with banking topics, and it turns into total chaos. And we go down rabbit holes.
It do.
No, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Why does it turn into that every time?
I think it's fun.
Because we're just so fascinating.
That's what it is.
Have you heard of the NESARA?
No, actually, we need to talk about this. This is serious.
What is NESARA? Okay, go.
Basically, it's the redistribution of wealth, and all of us are entitled. Like, basically, when you were born, your birth certificate is the money that, like, from being born, you get a lump sum of money, and it's put into a trust. But all of the powers that be have stolen it and have been trading it on the stock market, and it's supposed to get redistributed to all of us, and it's like big money. Like,
what is this called?
$25 million.
Like how much?
Like 25 million or more.
Each person?
Yeah, but it depends on, well, there's not a whole lot out there that I've seen, but I saw one video and it says it depends on your age. So basically, if you're older than 65, you get 100%, and then it like goes down as in age ranges.
How do you, NESARA?
NESARA, like Sarah, but
NESARA.
put an N-A.
NASARA.
NESARA.
Or the Gensara.
I haven't heard of this.
I've not heard of this.
Top
either.
secret.
How-
You're welcome.
What, did
You're
you hear it
welcome.
on TikTok?
We're all the best.
No,
info
actually,
is.
our tea lady told us about it.
She did.
And now I've seen it on TikTok.
Every time we go to buy tea, we sit in her tea shop. Last time I was sitting on the ground, we were just talking. We just sit there
I
and
was
talk
not.
for like 2 hours.
She's
Because
just-
there's one chair there.
I sat
and
in
she
the
sat
chair.
in the one single chair.
Just
that
one
she
chair?
has. Yeah, no, but we just sit there and talk to her for like 2 hours straight about everything that is going on.
This is a tea shop?
Yeah, she sells tea and all different
Herbs
kinds of
and, like,
herbs.
Yeah.
What we burn, the white sage.
Oh.
It actually clears
It, like,
all of the
burns
bacteria out of
or,
the
yeah, like clears out bacteria.
Oh.
Why'd you say it like that? You don't believe in that? That's fine.
No, I totally believe in it. Totally.
Well, that's why your
Don't
house has
sound that
bacteria.
Because you don't have white sage. So, anyways.
Well, you know what? I don't see color, so
Oh.
that was loud, wasn't it?
That was loud.
Not like your
See
son.
color?
Your son does. He gets scared by it.
No, he gets scared by the lack
We are
of color.
recording on Black History Month in case anybody wants a reason to cancel.
Okay, all right.
Black History Month has been canceled, actually. So
What do you guys think about? Like, there's a lot of attacks on DEI and all of that right now.
I just feel like it's going to create more unnecessary unemployment where you're just like, oh, here's all these government employees now laid off that now have to use the very system they were a part of to compete with all these other people that are getting unemployment.
Oh, you're talking about all the mass layoffs and everything like that.
Just feel like it's unnecessary.
It's happened to multiple things that are impacting banking for sure. People are just being let go. You know, there's that mass email that went out to say, tell me what you did last week.
did they tell them?
If you don't respond, you're going to get fired. Have y'all heard of this?
Yeah, I did.
heard of this.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that was
basically like
Doge.
checking. It's to check to see if there's actually a person working, because apparently there's been a lot of people just creating fake jobs, and then all this money is getting sent to them, but there's nobody actually working these jobs. So that was like
How are they doing
Elon.
this, AI?
No, they just like, it's just like embezzling,
Allegedly
basically, right?
dead people.
Yeah, they're using and they're so it's like embezzling money. They're like, hey, there's this job set up. We're paying this person, but there's not even a person working the job.
But
I
who's
think it's
doing
very
the work
smart
is
for
my
Elon.
question.
Nobody. That's why Elon sent out the email.
Well, there
So
is
how are they getting paid
somebody.
if
Well, there's-
nothing's getting done?
It's not real. They're just using it to pay out government money.
There probably are jobs out there that are unnecessary. And people are sitting, you know, kind of biding their time.
I don't think it's
AI
that's
would
one
make
thing,
sense.
But
but
you're
it's
saying
like
there's fraudulent.
No, like it's just like everything else that they found with government spending about how it's like going to all these like what is it like random
Meanwhile,
places.
Doge is being sued. They're being sued because it might not be recognized as a legit government agency by the Treasury. There's a whole thing.
I mean, how
about
can you
that.
just, as an individual president, as an individual creating some department where you can control everything about it, and then that department can go and fire people? I don't think it's supposed to be like that, but yeah, there probably are people that aren't working.
Yeah, but how are they supposed to? You don't think the government is criminal? How are they supposed to do it so they find out all of the criminal stuff that the government's been doing? I am sure there's probably thousands of jobs that they're paying like $1 million to, and there's not even anybody working in that job. It's just like them just like it's embezzlement. Like when people just take money off the top of the company, it's basically doing the same thing.
Embezzling.
Because they're it's like when you sign fake checks.
Is it like you're laundering almost?
Yeah, basically.
Laundering.
And so that's why he sent that email out, because he's like, okay, if you don't check your email, if you're not actually there, if you can't tell me what you've done in this past week, then there's nobody actually working this job.
Well, they got 1 million replies, is what I heard. 1 million emails. I don't know how they're going to
so
read
I'm sure all those
how
people still have those jobs.
Well,
it doesn't matter. It's just about
confused though. So like these
Make
people
that bed
weren't
lie in it.
actually working, but they were paying them. Who's getting the money?
No, that's what I'm saying. Is it's just like some people probably weren't working, but then what they're really trying to find is people like fake jobs. So they're making up these fake jobs using dead people, sending all this money to them.
But who are these dead people?
But I'm saying, like, how are they
and
getting
also,
money without
if
them
you're
working?
responding,
No,
aren't you
the
proving
money's-
that you're alive?
Yeah, so they're not getting fired. That's what the whole point of the thing was.
Well, the CIA told their employees, like I heard, maybe not the CIA, but there are some departments where you can't talk about what you did last week, so don't reply. There's some departments that have said don't reply at all, and then there's others that I've heard that have said, yeah, reply, tell them what you've been doing.
I love Elon.
What are your thoughts, David?
Huh? Oh no! I'm staying out. I'm staying out of this.
No,
I'm just
you
watching
can't
you
say.
guys.
Oh,
Stayed out.
why?
I'm just watching you guys.
Everyone
he's scared
hates him
now.
because everyone's supposed to hate him because that's what the media is telling them to do.
I don't have a problem with Elon Musk at all. Like he
just
is
saying.
smart. He's also an extremely hard worker, and I think that's what people miss about Elon Musk. All of these companies, like, they didn't just tap him because he's brilliant. They happen because he sleeps on site and he wakes up and he works and he works and works and works and then he goes to sleep. And then he
Okay,
wakes
but
up.
if that was his image, he wouldn't be so hated. Instead, his image
He's also
is,
autistic.
I have
Are you
something
going
to
out?
prove
Oh.
to everybody. Like, this is the
Is he
richest
autistic?
man in the world.
For sure,
And he
100%
always acts like
autistic.
he's got to prove something to somebody. Like, he recently did this thing where he was like, oh, hey, gamers, I'm so good at video games. And it's like, why do you need to prove this at all? Like, Elon's
not?
biggest problem is that he's fragile with his masculinity. And, like, with fragile masculinity, you can take it away.
But why do you think everyone hates him though?
Because he tries too hard to prove himself. And it's
But,
like if you
majority
have
of
all the
people-
money in the world and you have all these kids that you're supposed to love and love you back, shouldn't you just like accept that like you're not a perfect human being and like you're already above? Why care about everybody else then? Why are you trying to go for everybody's approval?
He's never
He's
said he's
not.
perfect.
He doesn't
But
care.
he
literally-
is.
he
He literally is.
No, he literally said, I'm not
literally
always
is.
right.
He goes on Twitter being like, I get disrespected on here all the time. It's like, you bought it. You bought it, and you're paying attention to everybody that doesn't like you.
It's crazy
That's
to have
on
this much hate
you.
towards somebody you don't even know.
I literally.
It's like the majority of people just follow what the masses are saying. Like they follow what the media is telling them to
you
believe
guys
in.
do it
It's the
too,
same-
but
it's
in
the
a
same-
different way.
No, but it's the same thing with Trump too.
Oh my
Everyone hates
God.
it. The media twists stuff to like
yes,
make
I do
you
agree
think a
that the
certain
media
way.
twists stuff, but oh my gosh. Ugh. Ooh.
But it's like, what did he do to you to make you hate him so much? Is your life so much worse now that Trump's president? Or
What
like,
I
what's the
worry with
issue?
Elon is that because he's so money hungry and so revengeful
He doesn't need
on
money.
everybody that like mocks him whenever he tries to prove himself, that he's eventually just gonna take our rights away because of it, and then we're gonna
Wait,
lose our
where'd you-
fundamental rights as a country. That's what I didn't vote for that.
Why do you think he's gonna take your rights away?
Don't you? Oh my god!
Where did he say that he was gonna do that though? There we go.
He literally wants to be the right-hand man to Trump, though.
Because he's the smartest man in the world. Don't you
Trump,
want?
But Trump.
But
was
he
already,
also wants Trump's approval.
But Trump was already president.
he didn't
and
ask
did
for Kamala's approval, did he?
Nobody wants her approval.
But Trump was already president, and did he take your rights away?
Not
I'm pretty
yet.
sure gas was like $5
Not yet.
cheaper.
But also, our economy's not that great.
Why would you think he would do it this time? Well, he just became president. You think it's just going to get better overnight?
He actually has done a lot of stuff in a month. Lots of stuff.
No,
many,
he's done.
many
But the thing of
He's
it
done
is,
more in a couple months than Biden
if we
has
wanted
the
our
entire-
economy fixed, ever since the 1980s, there was this trend. I've learned about this in my economics class, where every time we think the economy is good, we vote for a Republican. And every time we think the economy sucks, we vote for a Democrat. So the reason Trump got elected was because a few weeks prior to the election, guess what was good? The economy. Gas was at its lowest at the time.
What, $4?
Under $3.
$4 a gallon.
It was under $3.
When Biden was
It
president.
reached back up when Trump became elected.
It was under $3 when Biden was president?
I was filling up a lot of gas at the time. Oh my gosh.
Could have been. I don't know.
I think that we should just sit back and let this play out, and I think it might go differently than maybe.
If you think about it in an energy sense, the world is moving towards the golden age. It's not shit. We're elevating as the human population, like we're getting into higher dimensions, and we're just not
Okay, where are we elevating then?
consciously. Everybody's
How?
because that's just where we're headed.
Okay, but how?
But are you spiritual? Like, no. Okay.
Okay,
so
how consciously, spiritually?
That's just where
Are we electing leaders that reflect our values then? Are we electing them because they're spiritual?
So-
Last time I checked, Elon wasn't spiritual either.
The party that's not in power is always paranoid. When Biden was in power, Republicans were paranoid. They thought the end of the world was coming.
Also, it's just like the end of the world is not coming. Things
No.
are
The
getting
end of the
better.
world is not coming.
The
Things
thing
will be
is, it's
okay.
like if you don't like
Everything has a
Trump,
way of working itself out.
he is setting it up to be like he's brought over two different Democrats who have switched sides, Tulsi and RFK. These people actually are very intelligent in their fields, and they want to make things better for the world.
Okay, but then why are they deregulating stuff?
like
Deregulating what?
Well, they are
Deregulate-
deregulating everything. That's what Republicans do. They do. They
Like what, though?
deregulate. You have these these extremes that can happen to people that are vulnerable. And if there's no regulations in place to control that, then people will finally figure out that the bank that's down the street is not doing them treating them right, and they can go somewhere else. But by then, how much have they lost? Like, there's regulations in place and regulators going in to make sure things are safe and make sure that people are protected.
Are things safe right now?
Yeah, I think
Have
so.
they
What?
been safe the
Our
past
food is
5 years?
poison.
I think so. I think the complaint over the last 5 years is there's been too much regulation to where, as a financial institution, the regulators are making you report so many things that you're spending maybe tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars to answer all of these questions and provide all of these reports. And that's the complaint that a lot of banks have, is that there's some regulations good, but it has been too much. And so now we're probably going to swing back to where there might be too little, and something bad will happen, and we'll learn from it, and then we'll add a regulation. I mean, look at the housing crisis of 2008. It was because of deregulation. It was because we were allowing banks to do very creative things that caused a lot of issues. And so there's always needs to be a balance. Some regulation's good. Too little is bad. Too much is bad. I mean, it's just... And there's no way that all of us could understand everything about farming and everything about poultry and everything about, the things that we buy or the places that we go, or the places that we bank or get loans from. There's no way that we can understand that enough. We need regulators in there to kind of keep people in check.
But why do we need regulations? Like what is the point that boils down to us needing regulations?
So we don't get sick or have another COVID outbreak.
Yeah, but don't you think it's greed? Why would anybody do anything that would harm anyone else unless it was for money? Like what would
Well,
be?
yeah, it would. It's
You know what I'm
greed.
saying?
Yeah, they're doing
And
it.
if
because of greed.
everybody
Same
is
as
on
like
an
just all
equal,
the food being poisoned.
exactly.
It's the same shit. You put
Because they
addictive
want
chemicals
power.
in the food to make them keep buying it.
Well, it's everyone. It's company. It's owners. It's like if there's not greed, and if people are actually being paid, like if we have the money to survive, to have basic needs, like more than basic, because we all deserve more than basic needs, right? We deserve good food. We deserve to be healthy, like to be able to take care of ourselves in that way. We deserve to be able to buy clothes, to protect our families, like to have a shelter, to have a car. Like these things, like basic needs are met. Like this just would not be an issue simply. And if people weren't greedy enough trying to take all of the money
obviously there
away,
would still be the select few that are like, I want more, but the majority of people
minimal.
would be happier if
Well,
they
that's
could fucking afford groceries.
it is the minimal that is causing this, though.
No, it is because people can't afford to fucking go.
They can't
buy
even
food
think
at the grocery store. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is a socialist way of looking at it, though.
Why do you have to put a label on it?
Because that's the idea is that
everybody can have their needs met. I can't speak.
You guys are secret
Needs-
socialists
needs.
and just don't want to admit it.
I don't think I'm a socialist. I think
Well,
I'm
you did just express a socialist view.
That's
You
what a
believe that
socialist
people
has
should
said.
have their basic needs met. That is a basis of
it
socialism.
kind of is. It is.
That's what socialism has made it. That's like a view of mine, simply.
I mean,
Like that should be a view of everyone in the world.
I
That
think
everybody's needs should be met.
It's not necessarily a bad word. I mean, it can go to extreme where everyone in the country is relying on the government for everything. And that's a place that we don't want to get.
Why
That's
should you
not
have
what
to?
we're saying.
No, not at
You
all.
should
I'm not
work
saying
for what
government.
you have, but it shouldn't be
Just given to
impossible.
you. It should be. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No. And it's like everybody, and you shouldn't have to work as many hours as you work. Like everything could be done in half the amount of time. And then everybody could help each other out, like on things that everybody doesn't want to do, right? Because they'd be happy because they have enough money. Like they have all their needs. Like everybody would just be, and if poison was taken out of the food, that's a big
Poison
thing. Like
is a big thing.
No,
That
because we
alone will
don't even
clear
have
your
our
mind more
energy.
than anything.
Like what do we don't even know what
We don't
capacity
even
we could
the
run
fruits
at.
and vegetables we eat aren't even real. Half of them aren't.
Yeah.
No, they're literally
So would you
pumping
rather have
toxics into
something more
them.
like in Europe where they say arguably the food is better over there?
I want something completely
100%.
different that we've never experienced before that we're supposed to be
Real
experiencing
fruits,
here
real
on Earth.
vegetables, real food. No red 40 bullshit.
Because why is that there? And also, like, we don't need
It's because
surplus.
it fucks up our health and it makes us addicted. So we buy. Everything's just like
No, it's all to keep us in a cycle of being at our
the
lower
rat
level
race.
self,
It's a rat race.
because they don't want us to actually reach our full potential. Because if everyone reaches their full potential, this world will be heaven on earth. Simply,
We're headed
Elon Musk.
we're headed to heaven.
1,000%. Where do you want to go?
Where else are we gonna go? Hell?
Because it feels like we're
'Cause
already
I ain't
there.
going. Y'all can. I'm out. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
All right. I think we can.
Don't worry, you
That
guys
was
are going up with us.
Okay, good. Good. Don't leave us behind.
Never. We would never.
No, I would.
I believe
I'm
that.
just kidding. I would never. Why would I
believe
do
you.
that?
I wouldn't leave you guys behind either. No.
No, never.
All gonna go through the golden gates.
I'll leave you behind just to be safe.
That would not be safe. For
I'll
you
be.
then.
My reasoning will be like she loves Trump too much. She wants a socialist world, but then didn't vote a socialist person.
We're gonna watch this video, Senator Kennedy, our favorite senator, about the nightmare of homeownership.
I'm having a nightmare right now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and Senator Warner, I appreciate your comments. I've been very, very perceptive. Thank you. Let me say first, Mr. Speaker, I've served with a lot of speakers of the House back in Louisiana. God bless you. You know, you've got an automatic place in heaven.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have your job for all the money in the world.
I can say the same about yours, Senator.
Well, no, you've got to herd all these free-range chickens that
That's
wander
true.
off and go catch them, and sometimes you can catch some and sometimes you can't.
It's very
So
true.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for your service. Mr. Williams, if the price of electricity goes up, does that make a house more expensive?
Not in a direct sense, but I mean, electricity is an input to a lot of things, both on the construction
Well,
side.
it makes home ownership more expensive.
Sure, yes. And
All right. If property taxes go up, does that make home ownership more expensive?
sure does.
if homeowners insurance goes up, does that make homeownership more expensive?
Indeed.
If interest rates, particularly mortgage rates, go up, does that increase the cost of home ownership?
It does.
A lot, right?
Depends on a lot of factors, but sure, it could.
If when you own a home, you're going to have repairs. If the cost of home maintenance and repairs goes up, does that make home ownership more expensive?
Indeed.
Okay. If you, whether you agree with it or not, if you admit 10 to 12 foreign nationals illegal into your country, all of whom need housing, does that make the cost of home ownership go up?
You know, I think that all of these questions and all of these inputs to
but
housing costs.
What about illegal immigration? Does that increase demand for housing and make the cost of home ownership go up?
I think that's a distributional question. I think the question we're here to talk about today
but does it make the cost of home ownership go up?
We're here to talk about housing supply
No,
today.
we're here to talk
creating
about home
jobs.
ownership and the cost of owning a home. You're a bright man. Does that make the cost of home ownership go up when you increase demand that much?
I think that's a distributional question.
You don't want to admit it, do you?
I think that's a distributional question, and the problem that we're facing
With
is
all due
housing
respect,
supply.
I think you're being disingenuous. Let me ask you, Mr. Pinto, if you increase immigration by 11 million people, does that increase the cost of home ownership?
Senator, yes. We've tried to figure out what that impact is.
I mean, duh.
Yeah, but the federal government doesn't publish where they're distributing these individuals around the country, so we can't do the kinds of experiments that we normally do.
It causes home ownership to go up in some places.
But we can't figure out exactly what it is. We'd love to.
I'm not
we
here
need
to
the
play
data.
games. I'm here to try to get some answers.
But if you could get more data, that would be great.
I'm sorry?
If you could get the data released by the federal government as to where.
I'll give you some data. Mortgage rates are up 123%. Premiums for homeowners are up 16%. The average electricity bill in America is up 28%. That affects the cost of home ownership. No wonder people can't buy a home. This dollar, thanks to President Biden and Vice President Harris's inflation, they've been inflation machines. This dollar was worth $1 when President Biden and Vice President Harris took office. It's worth 75 cents today. That's the fundamental problem with home ownership. The other problem is government regulation. Look, the HUD and the USDA recently adopted the International Energy Conservation Code. Do any of you know what that is? Okay, well, I'm not going to ask you because it's going to take time. They recently adopted the International Energy Conservation Code put out by the International Code Council. And the Biden-Harris administration just said, they just told HUD and the USDA to adopt it. So if you want a HUD or USDA loan or access to the housing assistance, you've got to build a home that complies with the International Energy Conservation Code. You know how much it's going to add to the price of a new home? $31,835. Are you kidding me? You know how much energy you're going to save?
Senator Kennedy, you're well into Senator Padilla's time now.
$657. We need to start with the basics, folks. It's inflation that's killing our people, and it's this crazy whack job regulation.
Senator Kennedy, you're well into Senator Padilla's time now.
I'm sorry, Senator.
That's all right.
Senator.
Help!
Well, if you had a home, you could invite somebody over to visit.
Oh, now we're talking about my homelessness too? Like, the nightmare continues.
You're not homeless.
Oh,
You know what? This is the perfect Airbnb sponsorship. Use David's code, David8Salty20 for 20% off.
David ain't salty.
Not anymore. Oh yeah, property taxes.
Beer left over there, down there.
If you want to go grab one, you can.
We got some squatters and it's getting pretty ghetto.
Moved in the apartment across from us. The squatters can't go there.
They're squatters.
But Addie was
No, the
Addie
squatters
was
are.
you should have seen her in the window trying to scare this dude
There
off
was
like the
a
grudge.
homeless guy. It's not.
It's Arcadia.
Yeah, it's Arcadia. It's
That's a
not,
great
like,
area.
Terrible.
It's just right like next to the main road and the gas
People walk
station.
by and oh, I see. Yeah.
No,
What is the worst? You know, talking about homeownership. I know you guys rent. Like,
I
what's
owned a home one time
did.
in my past.
You
It
did.
was a
Yeah,
big-ass
before I
house.
moved here.
It was like what, 4 bedrooms and like 3 bathrooms.
Yep.
Had a whole basement, finished basement.
Nice.
No, she was rich.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but
Now you're.
No, I'm just kidding. Now I'm rich on knowledge.
that's what matters the most.
That's what matters.
Yeah, move over, Elon.
Rich spiritually,
Yeah.
and mentally.
Did you like owning a home?
Yeah, when I had a boyfriend.
But did he help?
No, but I mean like not financially taking care of it because I took
But
care
like
of that.
taking care of the house.
But yeah, no, taking care of the house. Like,
Oh,
first
yeah.
off, there wasn't a big lawn, but I don't want to mow that or do yard work. Man's job. I mean, gardening, maybe.
No.
But also, but no, like physical maintenance of it. If anything breaks, what am I going to do? Call somebody? That's expensive. She's gone.
Gone.
And now you rent.
Yep.
What's
For
the worst
way more.
rental?
It's double what I paid on my mortgage.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's gone up. Rent has gone crazy.
Well, also, it's Arizona.
Probably just
Illinois.
buy a house again.
It's hard to buy a house too.
Yeah, well.
I mean, you don't have to worry about maintenance, and
Right.
taxes, insurance, all
I
that
mean,
stuff.
but
Yeah, it's like
people-
if you're young and you like, why do you need to buy a house?
People,
Unless you have a
I've
family,
been sold the
you wanna settle
idea
down.
that like
Yeah.
with a house that builds up generational wealth because that's property. You can't really do that with an apartment you're renting or a house you're renting if you're just renting it.
And it doesn't always go up in value though. I mean,
Yeah.
my first house, it probably went down in value before I sold it.
Yeah.
My parents' house is probably down in value,
Where do they
but I
live?
probably would hear about it from my ex, who was just like, "Hey, I found it on Zillow."
Yeah, go screw yourself. I don't want to hear that. What's the address again?
What's their social security? Wow. If you want a dead person's social security, I'll probably give you my brothers or sisters.
Wait,
Oh.
you have dead sisters and brothers?
Your siblings
Yeah,
died?
yeah, my siblings
All
are
of them?
dead. Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Well, both of them died from a seizure in their sleep.
At the
Not
How
at the
old
same
were they?
time. Like when I was in my early 20s, my brother was living in a group home, and like the worker at the time was working night shift and was on social media, not paying attention. And my brother was upstairs in his room, fell out of bed, had a seizure, and died.
Wait, group home, like
Wait,
what kind of group home? Like
One of the group homes where it's like for disabled kids.
that's fucked up.
Wow.
Yeah. So I woke up to news from my parents sobbing about it. There had to be a police report about it, and the guy got charged.
Wow, she's so much more like us than I realized.
No, she is. She has trauma. This is why we're on this together.
Right. Yeah.
United Front.
We don't have to
the
talk
same
about it.
political views
We're
to
family.
know that we love each other.
Okay.
She's right.
We fed you a cheeseburger.
We
Remember
did
that.
feed.
A little bit.
Two bites.
Two bites.
Basically, you
Two
took like a
bites.
fourth of it
No,
though.
but so how long ago was this?
8 years?
Damn, and the same shit happened to your sister
Yeah.
in a group home.
No, not in a group home. At my parents' house this time. She had it was oh man, my sister. She from what I was told, she got up to use the bathroom, went back to bed, had a seizure, and then stopped breathing.
How long ago was that?
That was a year ago.
a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Wait, so like, do
You're
they
just a
have
strong-ass
seizures
bitch,
or
apparently.
do you have seizures?
No,
Did it just like run in your family or what?
no. But
That's
both
crazy.
of them had seizures.
That's crazy. They both.
Was that their first seizure?
No,
Okay.
no, both of them, from what I remember, like both of them had seizure disorder diagnosis. So like, yeah.
That's fucked up.
I didn't mean to laugh at that. I was just like, oh my
No,
gosh.
well, it's like
You gotta laugh
kinda
about
gotta
it.
Laugh about trauma sometimes.
Oh my god.
Not
Yeah.
like-
I
like you're
had to go
laughing at the
perform at
situation.
shows like after she died, and then like I'm making the dark jokes. Like,
No,
oh
that's
yeah.
how we are though. We do
Yeah.
the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fucked. How old was she?
She was 21.
Damn,
Wow.
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
She didn't even behave like a regular 21-year-old. She was probably behaving more like a toddler
Oh,
because she did developmental disabilities.
yeah. Damn.
Wow.
Been through a lot. Are those the only siblings you have?
Yeah, those were the only siblings I had.
That's crazy.
Well, now you're
Yeah.
an only child,
Yep,
That's
only
good.
child.
like me.
Like me.
It's pretty lit over here.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of have. Your sister's.
Oh, actually, yeah, I do have siblings like that.
Just remember that. Just remember that.
She
Okay,
she's just
I've never.
I'm an only
I-
child too, and the sister's just like, am I a joke?
Oh, that's right. You have biological
No, but
sisters
you
that
thought
you
her
don't.
dad
Yeah.
was dead.
I
'Cause
did.
She never knew who he was, and then she figured out who he was like recently.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
God.
haven't ever met them, so still technically an only child. I'm probably never gonna meet them.
My brother's in prison. One of them died because of overdose. How many? She probably has like 30
Lots.
messages.
No more, probably. She'll add me and unadd me and then add me again.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, sorry, sis, I ain't got time for this
That
shit.
is weird. Yeah.
Sorry,
How are
sis.
you in a will they won't they with your sister?
And what? The
I
will
don't
they
know how
won't
else
they?
to describe it. Like she's just unfriending you and then friending you and then wow.
Yeah, because she won't answer her.
Oh.
She's very weird.
Yeah. Well, let's cut this off. Hey, thanks for coming out.
Hey,